Alright, everybody, and welcome back to the very last episode of this Hero Factory series. Well, it's not the end of this playlist just yet. We still have a couple more episodes to go, and I have a lot of bonus videos planned along the way, so it's just only the beginning. But, as of now, this is going to wrap up the Hero Factory stuff. And this is the last Hero Factory season I am going to cover. And this season has ended off in 2013, marking the end of the franchise. Now, they did do one more season in 2014. However, that season is very, very different, and I will not be covering it because it actually disconnects from the rest of the lore. So, that actually is more like a spin-off of Hero Factory, not necessarily a part of the franchise. And then the franchise officially ended, and that was it. So, this is the final season we will be looking at, Season 5, and it is called Brain Attack. Yeah, you heard me. Brain Attack. So what is the context, you may ask? Well, this story wraps up right after Breakout. The heroes have returned. They have captured the villains that they've been chasing after. However, while the heroes were successful in capturing the villains, the villain Black Phantom had snuck into Hero Factory while the breakout was happening, and it was part of the master plan to divert the majority of Hero Factory's forces away from the facility. So he snuck back into the Hero Factory and sent the plans, the entire blueprints, to this unknown villain lurking somewhere in the galaxy. And that unknown villain has taken those plans and created these brain-attacking bugs, these little alien bugs, to invade the Hero Factory. And these bugs targeted animals. So how they work is, once they hop on your head, they get control of your brain, you're under their control. So they target animals. Clearly animals are one of the easiest living beings to take control of. So they target these animals and they turn them into these monsters, and then they use these monster vessels to launch a huge invasion onto the Hero Factory. And of course, Hero Factory has to upgrade their heroes to repel the attack and fight back. So, that is your little context. Now, what heroes are missing? We are missing 2 heroes in this season. Nex is gone and Stringer is gone. But the rest all receive great upgrades and they look awesome. So, of course, as always, we will be looking at the heroes and then we'll be looking at the villains. So, we're now going to start off by looking at the heroes. Now we're going to start off with a Titan hero, an XL hero. Now we have Raka as our XL hero in Savage Planet, and then later on we got Stormer as our XL hero in Breakout. Who has taken the mantle of being an XL hero this time? Well, it's none other than the main character of the franchise, Furno himself. It's about time he gets an XL upgrade. He is technically the hero that started it all, so it made sense for the final season for him to take the mantle of XL, and boy, does he look awesome. Something new for the heroes in this season. They are all equipped with headgear, head visors to protect their heads against the brain bugs, and their hero cores have these clamps, these protection clamps, to protect their hero core. Now Furno, obviously, being an XL hero, has received a little bit more than that. He has shoulder spiky armor, he has a expanded chest, if you will, and his main weapons here is a fire sword and a fire shield. And one of my favorite features about this figure is that he has a cape. Yeah, this is a full-on fabric cape, and it's not the first time LEGO has developed these capes for these buildable figures, but it's been a while since the old Bionicle days. And then later on, when they made the Star Wars figures, they used this cape again for like Darth Vader and stuff. So it's really cool to see these pieces being used once again, and I think it just fits Furno very, very nice. It looks very cool, and this is my favorite XL hero. In all the Hero Factory sets ever made in the history of the franchise, this has always been my top favorite set, and that is not going to change. I got this for my birthday. I remember my uncle bought this for me for my birthday, so this also holds a very important legacy to it. So, Furno, everybody. And then we have Bulk, who has actually shifted a lot in his colors. I mean, he still keeps his orange and gunmetal gray, but he kind of goes for a more lighter approach here. He still is gray and he still is orange, but as you can see, a lot of the orange has become transparent and a lot of the gunmetal gray has become lighter gray. So he's kind of gone brighter in the colors, if you will. He's also much smaller than what he originally looked like in Breakout. And his main weapons here is a shield, just a big old shield, and a drill. Yeah, that's right. Bulk has a drill. And on the side of the drill is a little missile that's attached there. And why is he equipped with a drill? Well, the monster he fights is a rock monster. So, what is the best tool to use against rocks? A drill. It only makes sense. So that's exactly what happened. So, Bulk, not my favorite design, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, they made do with what they had, and yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of this one, but Now this season is also special because in Savage Planet we got 2 Rocka sets, right? So we got the normal Rocka and then we have a Rocka XL. Well, the exact same thing happened for this season. Well, we don't have a Rocka XL, but we do have a special Rocka set. But before I show you that, we're going to show you the normal Rocka first. So he's also kind of gotten a downgrade. I really wish they still kept that crossbow he had from Breakout because that was actually a very cool design. But he's gotten a lot smaller. And he's really leaning towards the golden and green design as well. His main sword here is called a plasma sword. I don't know about that name, but his shield here also has these blades coming out, so you can use it as like a projectile, I guess. You can, because they can spin like this. You can use it to throw the shield like Captain America. And overall, very simple design. You know, another just classic sword shield thing. The other Rocka set is really what makes it impressive, and that is because he has that a very special vehicle. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. He has a very special vehicle. And then we have Breeze, the feminine hero. I dig this design. They actually went a little bit simpler with her. You know how in Breakout she had lots of red, lots of green, and was just overly equipped? Well, they actually kept it simple. The 2 main colors that we see here is gray and green. Yes, there is a little bit of transparent green in between, but I think they still nailed the overall mix of it, if you will. Her weapons are also very creative. She has this boomerang staff and a razor saw shield. Of course, the shield is a little bit cliche, but the boomerang staff really makes up for it. It's, you know, it stands out compared to the other like close combat weapons the other heroes uses, which are like swords. She uses like a staff, which I guess can also be used as a projectile weapon. You know, can kind of fire arrows, if you will. I'm not sure if it can actually do that, but I'm saying theoretically it would be pretty cool if it also had that purpose as well. So yeah, so that is Breeze. And that actually is every hero from Wave 1. So Brain Attack actually follows the same release pattern as Breakout did, which they released 1/2 of the sets in the beginning of the year, and then the second half during the summer. So kind of followed the Breakout release line, but obviously it was not as much as Breakout. But it was interesting to see. I mean, this was technically their last season, so I guess they wanted to stretch it out as well. So I guess that's what it is. So let's start off with Wave 2, shall we? The summer of 2013. What sets did we get? Well, we got Evo. And I think Evo looks a lot better than he did in Breakout. Gone is that tank arm. So he is able to move around more freely, and he's able to combat, you know, just without any restrictions. His main weapon here is this tornado staff, which can be folded open and just be can be just be spun like this. So he fights this aquatic creature, which I will of course show. So he's in the show. He's mostly like just under in the sewers. He's underwater, so the staff made sense. So of course, technically you can attach the staff like this, and then he's just holding it and using it to combat monsters. At the end of the staff, he does have this little dagger, but you know, obviously when you detach it, it separates the dagger from the rest of the staff. But it is part of the staff. I like to think it's part of the staff. Lego kind of advertises it as, oh, he has two weapons, a tiny little dagger and a huge staff. I don't think that works. It made sense. It was part of the staff. So, Evo, very big upgrade from gunmetal gray and yellow. He also has some blue, and I think that looks very, very nice. So much better than this breakout look. And then we have the team leader himself, Preston Stormer, who has been significantly downgraded from being an XL hero to a medium size or regular size hero. I don't really dig this design. I'm not gonna lie, from all the heroes, this is probably my least favorite design from this season. But it's mostly because of the legs. I feel like if the armor plates were switched to face forward, it would cover it nicely because you don't see that exposed joint. But I will condemn this design because they also have a really cool ice shooter shield thing. It can be used as a shield, but it can also be used as a shooter to shoot ice and freeze things. I think that's a pretty cool design. And his sword is like an ice sword. However, I do wish that they use a transparent blue blade instead of the gray. I think that would really add to the color very nicely to fit the Stormer's ice elements, if you will. Lastly, he also has these missiles that come out the end. And see, he has these little missiles. So he does have some range equipment to fight from a distance in case he's not getting up close and personal. So that is Stormer. Okay, and the last hero before the special hero, of course, we have Surge. And I think this is Surge in his prime. This is the best designing Surge I have ever seen in the history of the franchise. Why? Because he just ditches the lime green. The main problem with his breakout design was the lime green. It just didn't fit it well. So they removed it. Yes, they're still green, but it's more transparent and it fits. It's more like it's leading towards a more yellow color scheme of green. So it really matches the blue much, much better. He also has a mini jetpack, which I think is really cool. I think it fits it quite well. And his main weapon here is like this electric sword staff thing. So he's fighting, which can be used as a shooter to shoot lightning. So it's a multi-tool weapon, and of course when he has his wings, he can just fly around and shoots lightning. So very cool. So Surge, of course, I don't have to explain the history of Surge every single time, but this is definitely the best design we've gotten of this character. And I'm glad it's the last season that he got the best design. So, mark Surge, everyone. Okay, you know how I've mentioned we have a special hero set? Well, I mentioned we have 2 Rocket sets again this season. I don't think it was necessary. I don't think anyone asked for it, but it was still nice to get it anyways. You know how Surge had that little jetpack, he had those wings? Well, allow me to introduce you to Rocka's jetpack. Yeah, they made Rocka a jetpack. This is a completely different set. It is the most expensive set of the season. It costs $45 in retail. And this is probably the most Technic pieces used because it is a vehicle technically. It's a jetpack. It serves its name. And because the jetpack is so big, they had to kind of modify Rocka a little bit. So he's kind of this huge figure with very minimal pieces, and he looks utterly disgusting. So he looks better with the jetpack on. So again, didn't really ask for this to happen, but it was cool to see Lego just make a design for this. I feel like if they made this for another hero instead, like Nex or something, That would be pretty cool. So they just, having two of the same character again and have two other characters absent. I feel like there was some poor creative planning there, but it's what it is. What it is. But some cool features of this jetpack. You know how I'm like flipping the wings up and down like this? Well, the way I'm doing is there is a lever underneath here which you can hold, which is designed for you to hold the jetpack like this. And then when you pull the pull the trigger, it flips up the wings and it reviews the ball shooters at the top. So he uses this because the big bad of this season is a dragon. So what is the best way to combat a dragon? A heavily equipped jetpack. So this is Jet Rocka, everyone. And so that is all the heroes. I do want to give a little reminder. I clearly haven't gotten into lots of details regarding these Hero Factory sets, not just from this season, but all the previous videos as well. And that's because I have already done fully fledged detail reviews on the main channel back in summer 2020. So if you want to dive a little more deep into these figures that I show off, then go on my main channel and click on the Hero Factory reviews. All the full-length reviews are up there. So, okay, I digress. We've covered the heroes, so now let's go and take a look at the villains, which are the monsters. So, let's go. Okay, just like the heroes, these villains or monsters were released in two waves once again. So, we will be looking at Wave 1 and then Wave 2. So, the first creature I want to show off is this spider humanoid-like creature called Scarox or Scarix. Say it whatever you will. He is a spider creature. And the evil brain that sits on top of all of these creatures is right here. They all come in different colors, which is cool because some people would collect these creatures to collect the brains, because they're the brain bugs, because they're all different colors. And they are just built into them, but you can hold them separately. They act as their own bugs, they act as their own pieces quite well. So let me just show you. This is a promotional pack that you get when you purchase all the sets back in the day, and this is what you're looking at. This is what the brain bugs are like. This is an exclusive color. Black and red, can't get this anywhere else now, so it's a very rare piece. But that is what you're looking at. And so that is essentially all of these pieces just slapped on the top of these creatures. Which, if you think about it, it's a little bit disturbing how a little green bug can embed his way and morph into a body and take control of the creature. But let's not think too deep, shall we? Alright, I digress. Back to this character, Scarix. What is special about him? Well, he's a spider. What more can I say? He does have a little play feature, which you can flip his upper legs backwards, which look kind of weird, but if you want to create that striking action, Shazam, you can kind of do that. So that's really the most you can do, but not my favorite brain attack creature, if I'm being honest. Just feels weird. Spider humanoid creature. I get it's a monster, but still kind of weird if you ask me. Next up, we have actually one of the first creatures I collected when I started purchasing these sets back in 2013. This is a Bruiser. He is a giant stone creature, and that is exactly why you saw Bulk with a drill, because he fights this guy. He is a rock monster. Now, again, I don't really dig this design too much, simply because he has this very impressive stone arm, which has a play feature. So you can lift the lever at the back, and you can, lift his arm up, create that smash play feature. But then on the other side, you just get this very skinny arm. Very skinny arm. Very small joint. Single hand, he's holding a little dagger. I feel like that's just laziness. If anything, we should have gotten two of the big, bulky, rocky arms. I wouldn't mind paying a little extra money for it, heck. I want a good-looking design for a rock creature. Unfortunately, LEGO kind of cheaped out with the other arm. Don't get me wrong, The stone arm is impressive, but they've only done it for one side. You know, they could have had more potential with this creature. The brain bug on top, as you can see, is orange. So of course, people looking for orange can definitely try to collect this figure. But I don't know. Again, I don't really dig this one either. If they added the stone arm for both sides, then I'll probably give it a higher score. But as of this time, it's not my favorite. Okay, and then this is actually one I got. One of the first ones I got. This one's not bad, I will say. I want to give some credit to LEGO for doing this. This one's actually not too bad. This is Pyrox. He is a lava minotaur, hence the horns. And yeah, so they've actually did a pretty phenomenal job with this one because he has, yes, he does have a skinny arm on the one side as well, but in doing so, he's able to hold this very nice looking spinning fire sword, which is nice because he can use to shoot lava, shoot fire, and also use it as a blade for close combat situations. And then the other side, he has this huge lava claw with just transparent claws just striking at the heroes. Like, no, that's cool. He is equipped to fight with both hands. Instead of a tiny little dagger, we have a very nice sword and lava claws. So I think it'll be, like, this is definitely very nice. Then it's so much better than Bruiser, I'm not gonna lie. The head is also very nice. With the horns and everything, it's one of the most impressive creature designs I've seen. And of course, to wrap it off, the brain bug is yellow. So, a little good contrasting color with all the brownish red. Just a yellow brain bug. I feel like that was a pretty smart choice. And then this guy, he's like this ogre-like creature, and so you may ask, what could possibly be his name? Ogrim. Ogrim is his name. Which is actually, you know, when I first saw this set back in 2013, I actually didn't like it. But looking at it now, from a perspective of just the design of the figure, it actually looks very good. I clearly underestimated it. It looks cool now. What does he have? Well, he has his big mace, as you can see. That's just dangling around. And on the other side, he has these vine hands, which in the show, he shoots these vines out, which he can use to tangle up heroes. So it's very, very cool that he can have a far range weapon. And when he's up close, he is dangerous with this mace. So again, very versatile, and not to mention his head is actually quite a nice design one too. And the brain bug is green, which actually just goes with the colors of this figure very well. You know, Scarix is also green, but Scarix has a lighter green. Ogrim here has a darker green color, so there is a little bit of a difference. But no, definitely from the first wave, Ogrim here definitely had the best design. But this is just the first wave. The creatures from the second wave, I prefer them more, which we'll get into right now. Alright, time to look at Wave 2. These sets, of course, came out during the summer, along with the Wave 2 heroes. So, remember how Evo had that trident staff? And I said he was using that to combat these aquatic creatures. Well, this is what he is. The creature's name is called Aquagon. You can see where this is going. And he is a marine creature. Very simple build. He's one of the smallest. I think he uses the least pieces in the entire Hero Factory franchise. I believe this is the figure that uses the least amount of pieces. I think so. I might be wrong. But he has these two blue swords, which I said should be used for Stormer's ice sword. You know, like look at it's not transparent, but it's a lighter blue color. I definitely think it would fit Stormer's sword very well instead of the gray. But I digress. He does have yellow, and his brain bug color is blue. So yellow and blue. I feel like that's a good mix. That's a very good mix. And you know, a lot of people sleep on this creature actually. When the franchise was going, a lot of people didn't really care much about Aquagon. But no, I think Aquagon is actually a very nice design. I'll take him over Scarix any day in terms of the small creatures. So Aquagon. Okay, you know I said Ogrim was my favorite Wave 1 creature? Well, this creature is my favorite one in the entire Brain Attack. From all the creatures, this one is my favorite. Allow me to introduce Frost Beast. Frost Beast. Yep, that is his name. While all the other creatures get a special, cool sounding name like Pyrox, Ogrim, Bruiser, Aquagon, here we have Frost Beast. That is literally his name. But it's cool. It's a very nice looking creature. They've designed it so elegantly. Because his chest design is different, they kind of bulked him up. So he actually looks beefier than his fire counterpart, Pyrox. He does keep similar attributes to Pyrox, such as, the claws and the sword. The sword is very nice. It's a big ice blade. Definitely great for heavy, for very close combat scenarios. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot of reach because the blade isn't that big, but, the sharpness is where it matters. His brain mode is a lighter blue compared to Aquacon's dark blue color. And I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, no, I completely dig this because just the creativity they go with this creature is different from the other creatures. So that is what makes me appreciate more for Frost Beast. So yeah, Frost Beast. And last but definitely not the least, we of course have a big bad guy. It's not the mysterious villain, but it's just considered the big bad guy just simply because of his size. He is huge. And that is a dragon. That's right. The big creature is a dragon. Yeah. Impressive. So, his name is Dragon Bolt, and he does exactly what he does. He is a lightning dragon, which you would think is someone Surge would fight. No, it is actually why Rocket gets that jetpack and goes in a battle with it. It's a chase after this dragon. Now, it looks cool, but it is disappointing in terms of the size. Because in the show, obviously, it's a dragon. It's supposed to be massive. It's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be, towering over the city. But you put this beside the other Hero Factory sets, and he's actually smaller than some of the heroes. I get it. From a price standpoint, keep the pieces to a minimum. Keep it small so it's affordable for kids to play with and get the set. But even then, I feel like it will look cooler. If they can make Jet Rocka a $45 set, I don't see the problem in making this dragon a $45 set. But nope, this set was $25, the same price as Furno XL. So, I stated that main concern in my review. Of course, I won't go too much into it. You can check it out in that review if you want to listen to my full complaining about it. But what am I going to highlight about this dragon? Well, his main jaw is very wide. As you can see, he can open quite wide. His wings have a unique play feature. You push it down. It is actually attached with an elastic band, so you can just flap the wings like this. So that looks like that. Very nice. And that's pretty much it. That's his main play feature. He's got a tail and all that. And the last thing is the brain bug for Dragon Bolt is glow in the dark, which I won't really show. It doesn't exactly glow too well, but is the only brain bug that glows in the dark. So I guess that's what makes something unique about this. But definitely not my favorite. Not my favorite big villain. Like I said, it's cool that they made a dragon. It's cool. I just wish it was bigger, that it lives up to a standard of a dragon. A huge, threatening, humongous creature. And that's just something they didn't deliver in terms of the actual figure. Yeah, I don't know. Jet Rocka should not have been the big, expensive set of this season. It should have been this guy. He was done dirty. Dragon Bolt here was done dirty. And so that is everything. Not only did we finish up all the Hero Factory Brain Attack figures, but we have pretty much finished the entire franchise. Like I said, I will not go into this sixth season that they came out in 2014. That's because it disconnects from the rest of the lore, so it's technically a spin-off. I'm not going to go over that. I don't have the sets, so that's another reason. So we're going to move on from this franchise now. For the rest of the series, we'll be doing some different things. we'll be looking at Funko Pops because, you know, I actually should get into Funko Pops now. I'm actually getting bored of Hero Factory, so we will be looking at Funko Pops, for example, my most prized and expensive ones. We will also be looking into my Minecraft City. My Minecraft City is 10 years old as of this year, so it holds a lot of significant importance to me. That's why we'll be going over that as well. And then we will also be looking at some of my other Funko stuff, like a studio tour, which will probably be at the end of the series. And we'll also be looking at just things that I generally like to do. Not just Lego, we can look at like movies I watch and all that. But I haven't exactly thought of that yet, so we'll have to see. I will say we will have a bonus video coming up. If you're hearing this on here now, then you will know in advance that it will be coming on my main channel, which I will be taste testing the Prime Hydration Drink by KSI and Logan Paul. Yeah, I managed to get my hands on them, and a video for that will be coming soon. I wanted to do that right after I finish all the Hero Factory stuff, so now that I am, that is the green light. That is the video we're doing next. So yeah, if you're excited for that video, which will be on the main channel, by the way, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and of course share this video and let people know that some fellow Canadians are actually getting Prime. So we will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye for now.